Me.
Of you?
Yeah.
Okay. I do become a member. So I'm not went there. He was there for some 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
Then Hanway is a kind of a coastal small town.
Yeah.
So I've seen lots of cartoons. Like I've seen the cartoon. I have a complete collection of Punch. But
Somali, I'm wife of Vivek. We have been married now for almost 2 decades. So, and we are right now staying in the UK. I went there on work purpose, and then I invited Vivek also to join me. So this is mostly how we are kind of, every year we visit India, and Cartoonist India is his passion. Like he was always talking about it, thinking about it. He sleeps and eats everything around cartoon. So that's how it is. And
What is your hobbies?
My hobbies, generally I do a little bit of crafting, stitching, and I love listening to music, and I just love to travel. If you give me an opportunity, some holidays, I'm just, off to somewhere.
and unofficially assisting me, because most of the places when I visit, I interview some of the cartoonists. She's always there to record it, take the photographs. So when I was there, especially when I visited the British Cartoon Archive, so they were actually showing us the process of the preservation and archiving technique. She was there because they're actually discussing with me, so I have to go here, there. So she was always there to take all those sequence of photographs so that like we can document later to show others how they do this kind of thing. So always like thankful to her, she did that so that like we showed some of them during our inauguration program.
You are a MBA.
Everything plays a big role in his life. So however, I have restricted him not to create a caricature for me.
Of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of me. I don't want that, because I don't know, he might do all his experiments on me.
Okay.
But actually I encourage him, and I really like, he's able to live his passion. Not many people are able to do it. He's striving, he's kind of trying to make a place, and at least, it's not as a profession, and it's good that he's keeping it as a passion, so that you don't have competition or any expectation. Whatever you do, you just kind of cherish it, and you kind of, that is what I like. And I always encouraging that don't leave it, do whatever you can within the scope or the opportunities you get in.
But I'd say she missed the main point there. Maybe I can add that.
Please do so.
So she was as she mentioned that she was in UK, so she used to come back for after 1 or 2 years.
Right.
After 6 months again she has to go back. Again she knew that I'll be staying alone.
Yeah.
In between, we saw it in a newspaper that there is some R.K. Lakshman's doodles will be exhibited in some place called Indian Cartoon Gallery.
Okay.
Long back.
That
was the first introduction. We just checked the address and we both went there. And I was so confident that like I have mostly Lakshman's all the books and all before meeting the Krishnan and his collection. I was so confident that like I have seen most of his work, but those are the few things like I've never seen before. That was the all these like doodles, unpublished doodles, and I saw that there is an elderly person who was actually giving his bites to some news channel. So we silently just observed and we came back, and during that time she went to that office to check what is happening here, like what is this gallery all about.
Like it's, I think they do something with cartoons, like
Okay.
so I just tell, like I just told him, like, you wait, let me go and just find out
Okay.
what exactly they are into.
Okay.
So that was kind of the first introduction to Cartoon Gallery and Indian Institute of Cartoonists. So then I asked Narendra sir.
We didn't even know who he is.
And I just said like, what you all do? What is the purpose? Like, then he said like, we kind of conduct exhibitions every month, and we are just kind of, encouraging the cartoonist fraternity, etc. So then I just mentioned that, he's my husband Vivek, and he has 2 or 3, like that time I think he had 2 or 3 books, right?
Yeah.
Books,
From
yeah.
Times. On football, he does cartooning and some caricatures. So like, I just want to just know, like, if he can join this. So then,
As constantly telling her, they are talking about the professional cartoonists. I am not. So she said, no. Then
no harm in asking, right? Then Narendra sir said, yeah, it's okay. We encourage all sorts of, people who are interested in cartoons or any form of this kind of art and all. So then
that was only once, like we visited, and after that, like after a few months, like again, like that become old. But again, she was going back. So she said, like, what will you do? I said,
that time I found out that there is a provision of becoming member. So that just stayed in my mind.
Okay.
And by that time, I completed my 3rd book. Then she was again going back to UK. She asked, like, what will you do?
Okay.
You have anything in mind? I said, like, so far no. She said, then if you are getting bored, then you can actually go back to that gallery that we visited. You can just check if you can become a member. I said, like, what will I do? Become a member? So I'm not a professional cartoonist. She said, just go and check. So that was my first interaction with exclusively with Mr. Narendra sir. So like he saw my work. It was, I think, in
10.
No.
17, I think. 17. 16 or 17.
Yeah, 16 probably.
No, 17. Because 18th onwards, like I started, like and 19th I had my exhibition there.
Right,
So that was a. Narendra sir always said, like, no, your wife did the right thing.
Vivek, it's been nice, to see all the journey that you described so far, especially your collections, your passion, and how you've gone about collecting various, eminent personalities, cartoons, and some of the rare books as well you showed. It really reflects the passion of yours. What I would like to know is, you have written, and then you have drawn, and you also have published books. You're also an editor of Cartoonists India. You stay in UK. You must be interacting with the magazines over there or the cartoonist clubs over there. Can you briefly talk about some of your published works in their exhibits and their magazines?
Yeah, in UK I got a chance, an opportunity to visit the British Cartoon Archive when I was working with our previous issue, especially on Abu's birth centenary, because I knew that Abu, as I mentioned earlier, that Abu is the only Indian cartoonist who was very much prominent there.
In fact, he began his journey there, right?
No, he began his journey with Shankar's Weekly,
and then moved
Blades and other magazines. Then he went there. He was there for some 10 to 15 years. Then he came back. And he did his final years here. He was here working there. So during his heydays, he was in UK with that time. That's a significant 1 or 2 decades that he was there. So world was undergoing lots of geopolitical turmoil and war and things. So all those cartoons that he created during that time, it was actually significant. And when you are working on his person's retrospective, especially on his centenary year, you cannot omit some chapter. So that time I thought, like, why not I can check, like, if any institutions or the archives, they have those in their collection. Though we have some, like, which we exhibited in our gallery,
right?
But obviously, like, political things in UK is a little bit different. So even if you see some cartoons, we don't know the background. So if we can reach out to some archive who can actually give us those context, then it will be easier for us to relate to those cartoons.
So that's what led you to British Cartoon Archive.
So I knew that, like, a British Cartoon Archive is the only archive. So it is in the University of Kent in Canterbury. So inside that university, they have a library where this archive is there, and they have a biggest collection of cartoons,
Original works.
Original as well as the printed one.
Printed ones, okay.
So almost like starting with David Lowe, Vicky, Illingworth, to the current ones, and everyone in between.
Okay.
So they actually are getting some grants from the university and others, and they started this journey maybe sometime in 1975, and then slowly changed the name to British Cartoon Archive, and they have this biggest collection. So I saw that Abu's name is also there, so I actually reached out to them that I wanted to see some of their cartoons. So then I saw those cartoons, and then I also visited the Cartoon Museum. So that is another place that any cartoon enthusiast I should recommend that they should visit. So I was quite regularly I visit the museum, and that has also helped me to get lots of information. So the then director, Joe was the director. So recently I think the new person came, but Joe Sullivan was there during my visit. So he used to invite me whenever they had the new exhibition. So they have a private a session where they discuss, and the curator will talk and all the members will come. So I got an opportunity to be there in some of those private shows. That way, I got a chance to meet some of the cartoonists there. But my biggest opportunity came when I visited the Harnway Cartoon Festival. So that is a festival that happens, it's near the Harnway is a kind of a coastal small town, not very far from the Canterbury. So every year in the month of August, they organized an exhibition. That's the only cartoon festival that happens in the southeast side of England, where most of the practicing cartoonists they attend. So one full day they have this exhibition, live cartooning. They sit, chat, and interact with people. So it's a nice vibrant ambience. So I really like that. I got a chance to meet some of the leading cartoonists there. Of all, to name a few, Dave Brown was there. So he's the lead cartoonist of The Independent, who did his exhibition at our gallery last year. And then some other cartoonists, quite known one, who regularly contribute in other key newspapers and magazines like Private Eye, Spectator, Metro. So I got a chance. That is the first time I got a chance to meet, and they were quite encouraging, and they were quite welcoming when they knew that I came all the way from India, staying here, editing a magazine, and I came here to cover this event. So they helped me all possible way, and they're very happy to tell about how this festival came into picture. So that's how I started, and then I came to know that now Punch is no more there. But there are some magazines they not in print but in digital format. They're still doing it. Then I thought, why not? I can. So I sent one cartoon that if it is of that standard, because it's difficult to follow the British humor, to be honest. So I've seen lots of cartoons. I've seen I have a complete collection of Punch, but many cartoons even those are great cartoons, but it's a little difficult for us who are not staying in UK. You cannot follow the British humor. But I thought based on my understanding, if I can send one or two cartoons, but they got published. So that's how it started. There is one digital magazine, the New Cartoonist is there. So I keep contributing the cartoons there.
Super. So that keeps you busy, I will. So to some extent.
Yeah, it is nice.
So do you do it as a target to be, okay, it has to come in the next magazine, or whenever you have ideas, you send it?
Yeah, it was more I had some idea and I send it in case you think this is you can use it.
Okay.
And then he said, no, this is a good one. So we are going to use it in our next issue.
That's great.
So that's a good one, to see my cartoons along with others. But that's
and I'm sure you will continue to do that.
Hopefully, let's see. Yeah.
How many cartoons are published in abroad?
If you talk about the magazine, 3, 4. So because this is a new magazine, it
It's a
started
monthly-
I think
monthly.
The name of the magazine, Cartoonist.
the cartoonist, the new
monthly,
cartoonist.
monthly, right?
No, it is like bi-monthly.
Bi-monthly.
Bi-monthly. So I don't have it. I have that original newspaper in UK. So I should have actually showed you that newspaper. So when Punch like they stopped the publication, so there are lots of cartoonists there.
Yeah.
So there is no other magazine like Punch.
Yeah.
In quite obvious reason. What they did, like they came together and they started publishing like that broadside newspaper, exactly like a newspaper. Instead of the article, it was completely on the cartoons.
Yeah.
So we have the front page cartoons on the main topic. We have the editorial page cartoon on the editorial topic. We have the business page cartoon on the business. And the last page you can see the sports cartoon. So some 18 to 24 pages thick
Full
newspaper,
cartoons.
the broadside newspaper, full of cartoons. So that
And
was
what is your sense about the circulation and people's acceptability of that publication? How?
now.
Uh-huh.
Definitely it is less because now the readership is
you
gradually
mentioned
reducing. Now you can see the newspapers, the dailies and the periodicals are available in all the outlets, in the station and anywhere you go. Mainly the news agents outlets. But again, like now this generation, they don't read newspapers, so they can get everything on the mobile. But they're still publishing it. But it's quite evident that the readership is not like the previous years. But they still there are some publications they're still interested to publish cartoons.
Okay.
So I can see some good cartoons appearing every time.